Hey, hello, hello. Welcome, everyone. If you are just coming into the space, we just wrapped a writer's hour. And hello. Okay, I see people are just coming in from the weight room. All right. Hello, hello, everyone. Welcome to our annual State of the Salon at the London Writers Salon. This is a chance for us to celebrate the last 12 months as a community, as a membership, and as a general space of just we're trying to help writers like you and I and all of us make progress on our work and dedicate ourselves to a writing practice. And so we have the great honor, Parul and I, and also Lindsay and lots of our hosts who are here in the room to help support this space. And this chance over the next hour is really a chance for us to celebrate and document because sometimes I don't know if you feel like this with your writing. Sometimes if you don't look back and see what you've done, you can still look at this mountain you have still to climb. So personally, for us as an internal team, this is a really useful exercise for us to actually look at the last 12 months. What can we celebrate? What have we accomplished as a community, as a group, as an organization? And also to share what are the questions we're sitting with? What are the things that we have to look forward to? Because we do have a lot of fun things that we're so excited to share with you in 2026. But also, there's some open ended questions. So, this is a chance to both celebrate, document, and also be in conversation with all of you because we really do feel like from day one, and we're going to step through a little bit of the timeline of how we started this thing and where we are now. But from day one, we really wanted this space to feel you all, whoever joins this community, to feel a real sense of ownership that we're building something exciting together. And we just happen to be in the very fortunate space to be shepherds of that and to listen and to try to cultivate and to grow as best as we can. So, all right, let's dig in. Shall we, Parl?
Yeah.
And if we haven't met before, so I'm Matt. I'm one of the co-founders of the London Writers Salon and joined by Parl. And hopefully you can see us both. I don't know if we need to pin ourselves to this, if that's helpful, but otherwise I think whoever's speaking should emerge. But Lindsay, you can shout if things look weird. All right. So where shall we start? Let's start by the numbers. So since we started this thing off, and actually there's kind of like London Writers Salon 1.0 and London Writers Salon 2.0. And 1.0, which we're going to step into, was like 2019. Parl and I started this as a side project. And then 2020, this is when things shifted online and global. And so some of these stats, because very much everything we do is kind of more in the vibe of London Writers Salon 2.0 from March 2020. So here are some stats that we would love to celebrate with you all. So since March 2020, when we started our very first Writers Hour, this maybe not an exact science. I'm sure there's other writers' hours we haven't counted, but we've clocked almost 6,000 silent writing sessions.
It's incredible.
Hard to believe. Collective writers' hours, 2.5 million. This is just a guesstimate. It's probably more than this. Collective time that all of us have sat together and wrote across the world. We've held over 500 interviews, workshops, and live events. And this is something over the last couple of years have really skyrocketed. Community-led events. Most of the things that happen at the salon, it's actually not even us hosting it. It's you hosting it. And we're going to talk about that great stuff in a moment. But almost 3,000 of these community-led events throughout the weeks. 1,600 of you, over 1,600 of you are supporting this space as a member. You help keep the lights on here. And we're very, very grateful for you all. Also, 172 episodes and counting, almost 200,000 downloads on the podcast. So thank you everyone who listens to us there. And also last year we started a Substack publication, and there we have published over 170 of your pieces, poetry, creative nonfiction, fiction, and we've awarded over £5,000 in prizes, either as cash prize or in the form of membership. And we're going to talk more about that as well, but lots of things to celebrate. Countless blogs, books, articles written. Many of you just joined us for Writers Hour and you felt the progress. Hopefully you made some progress on some stuff. So lot to celebrate, everyone. Well done. Nice work.
It's incredible.
Just so you know, so we are, oops, sorry. The next 60 minutes or so, we're going to share a bunch of stuff. We are going to carve out a bunch of time for Q&A at the end too. So I do see the chat flying by. Please use the chat, ask questions, share emojis, whatever. It's really nice to see it, but we are going to make sure we get some time to focus on your questions too. All right, over to you, Parl.
And we have been on such a journey together, and many of you in the room have been with us since the beginning, or even if you just joined us in the last couple of months. It's incredible that we've created so much, and we really have created together. I'd love to take you on a whistle-stop tour across the years of where we began and how we got to be here. So the story really starts. We'll share this slide later. We're going to whiz past this. We started in 2019. That was our first ever event in London. There's Matt and I think we had 40 writers in that room. It was so much fun. The buzz was there. That's Matt and I doing our first Algebra webinar. It's almost like the start of the goal setting of a 100-day idea. That was 2019. To 2020, pandemic hit. We had this idea of a silent writing session. We called it Writers Hour. We had 10 writers. Today, by the way, we have nearly 1,000 writers join us every single day. But you know what? It feels just as magical as when we first started. We went global. We, no longer just about London. It's about the rest of the world. It's about creatives, no matter where you are. In 2021, we started to move towards a more professional platform. So we went from Patreon to Circle. Some press and awards creeped in. We love that. Our team started to form. We had the wonderful KK with Lindsay and Alicia. And then it starts to accelerate. 22 and 23, we start to see more Writers Hour hosts stepping up to help us support those 4 sessions across the day. Matt gets really happy with his merch. You can see at the bottom, the cap, the tote, a whole lot. He's still got more in the pipeline. Our podcast launches, and like Matt was saying before, nearly 200,000 downloads today, but that started in 22. We were invited to host Writers Summit at the London Book Fair. We've been going back every year since to be on panels. We started our first online courses. We started to get some of our dream guests as well in the interviews, which was just so incredible. And some of these guests came about actually through you all, giving us suggestions and connecting us. Right, in 2024, that was, a great year of our courses sort of sped up. We had more of those live. We included self-paced courses. The brilliant magazine, Write Down Magazine, launched. It's doing incredibly well. The community meetups, as Matt was talking about, just really exploded. And a lot of that is what's wonderful about it, is that it's led by you. It's led by what you want to see. And we're just helping to make that happen. So grateful for everyone who's been part of that. We started to expand into in-person, and hopefully there'll be some more. We might talk a little bit more about that later. We've done some events from night writes to Writers Hour to some people just meeting up to write on a Saturday. 24-hour writing sprint was something we had done since the beginning, but we kind of went supersonic with it. In 24, we went big, and we started to get thousands and thousands of people to that session.
And of course, this wasn't just Parul and I doing all of this. And apologies if we missed your name, because so many of you have stepped up to do things, whether it's part of the team, Lindsay, new team member, Judah, Catherine, all of our coaches, our magazine readers, our Writers Hour hosts, our community hosts, room hosts. This truly does take a village. And this doesn't even include all of you who just show up to Writers Hour and support each other and applaud each other and give us ideas. So this certainly takes a village to do all of this. Definitely, literally could not do it without all of you. So I just want to make sure we properly honor that in all of you and what you bring to this space. And so over the next few slides, we'd like to celebrate, kind of list in different kind of categories, like the things that we'd like to celebrate. So community milestones, membership improvements, things that we've done to hopefully help your experience here become even better. Some internal stuff behind the scenes of stuff you might be aware of, you might not be aware of, but we're proud of. And also some experiments, some things that work, some things that didn't work that helped inform what we might do in the future. So community milestones, what we did together. So again, this year, over 1,000 writers hours we held. All of us, we gathered for over 120 interviews, workshops, Q&As, and other events. And that doesn't even include the 50 room hosts who are looking after 36 rooms and hosted over 1,800 community-run events. And if you're not sure what rooms are, in our silver and gold membership, we have there are 36 actually rooms, and these are forums and also live events. A lot of the room hosts, all of you, host live events in the community space, because we have 3 24-hour Zoom rooms that we give community members the keys to. We have the cabin for silent writing, we have the cafe for gathering, and we also have the library for gathering, but more scheduled, kind of more intimate gatherings. So you all have done so much. And these also include things like themed writing sessions. And this has been maybe a shift from last year to this year, is you all as room hosts, those holding space, you've committed to ongoing programming. within the community. So like the theme writing sessions, like the monthly open mics and critique sessions, a lot of you are hosting book clubs, silent writing. It's really impressive. Another thing we're so happy and to celebrate is 21 writers joined our inaugural residency, Manuscript Accelerator. So this is something we launched in October. This was coming from a place of wanting to, the question was, what if we had all the resources and all the support to help writers who are in the middle of a manuscript get to the end? And so that was the residency, a 10-week experiment. And so 21 writers went with us on that journey, and they just wrapped last week with a closing ceremony. No, this week on Monday. Also, Writers Hour Magazine on Substack, we fielded over 7,000 submissions because every week, just about every week, except for a scheduled break, we published a creative writing prompt on Substack. And so over 7,000 submissions came through. And of those, we published 170 pieces across those 60 prompts, which many of those were partnering with guest judges, which is really fun. And again, awarded over 5,000 pounds in prizes. We also gathered for the largest, so Parul mentioned this, the largest 24-hour writing sprint that we held to date. We had 5,000 people registered this April for that event, which was pretty fun and amazing. And also we had some celebrity guest hosts who read quotes, like Stephen Pressfield joined us and Amy McNee and others. So it was a really fun celebration. We also had our biggest 100 days of writing event. So this was a workshop that we held on September, I think it was 23rd or 24th, to mark the final 100 days of the year. Many of you joined it. Many of you are still in it because we're still in the session, the 100 days of writing. But we had over 2,500 registered, which is really fun for us. Also, published the 5th annual London Writers Salon anthology. So this is a totally community-run event. Gina, who's you might know as a host, spearheads it with a bunch of others of you in the community. And this is also, you can see it in the top right corner. This is also designed. The cover was designed by community member Elle. So it's a really nice celebration of all of you and your work. What else? Hosted writers hours and meetups in London. So Parul was hosting monthly meetups in London, writers hours. Also Serpa, I don't know if Serpa's in the room, but Serpa's been holding twice a month writers hours locally in Cornwall, which is really cool. And also some more informal writing sessions like at National Theater in Boston and other places. And also we celebrated over 30 books published. So here's just a few of the titles here. Nicholas Lawson with Kate Lord Brown, Deepa, and so many of you. And so if you attend Writers Hour and you've been to a pub day pop-in where a writer shared the quote and then we got to celebrate the pub day, this is just a fraction of that stuff. And that doesn't include the newsletters, the blogs, the other stuff that you all have published, literary journals, magazines, stuff like that. So well done, everyone.
Yeah.
Incredible.
Love that. And those books you see, by the way, those are the book launches I got to go to. So if you invite us to a book launch, we might just come along and buy a copy of your book because nothing gives us more pride. All right, next up, here's what we're celebrating in 2025, some membership improvements. So one of the things that we've been working on this year is upgrading what were once called office hours into agent and editor hours. We've had 24 of those this year. And really the idea behind this is to try and this goes to the philosophy of the salon, is we're always trying to introduce you to people that we think you should meet, learn from across the industry. So even just this year, we've brought in agents from Donald Moss Agency, MMB, CAA, Literary Agency, Cowell and Peddle, Madeline Milburn, editors from everyone from Random House, Simon & Schuster, Diva Magazine, Razor Magazine. It's been really wonderful to have these experts in the room. Next up, we've added 39 interviews, 23 workshops, and 19 Q&As. So again, our programming is just, the idea behind it is to listen to what it is that you want and try and put those sessions on so that you can work on your craft. We have a lot of resources in the community. And in order to make this a little bit easier to access, we've been creating, Lindsay's been behind this, these how-to guides and packs, which are incredible. It's just a wonderful way to be able to quickly get an overview, actually narrow down. It's almost like I feel like it's a fishing hook. You get reeled into the information that you need to complete what it is that you need help with. So there's more coming up, but there are already 8 of those. We've also been, and again, for those of you who've been in the community for a while, you've known that we have this great resource of information. But what's been really helpful is Lindsay going through and tagging and categorizing these to make sure that actually you can find what you need when you need it. So you might notice these within the space. And if you need help, just reach out to us. Let's see what else. There's been some stuff behind the scenes. Next up, the 4 courses. Yeah, so we're introducing courses that we think are what you need. So Introduction to Creative Writing, the Academic Manuscript, Write the Signs, the 30-Day Novel. Some of you may have been part of this. And we're always just trying to listen to what it is that you say you're looking for and put new programming on. Behind the scenes, there's been some wonderful work to simplify how you interact with your membership preferences. So now it should just be a lot easier for you to adjust your membership in one place. There's a lot of work that's gone into doing that. For those of you who are fans of curated programming next. So again, yeah, like I was saying, we're just always trying to consider what you need in different seasons of your writing life. So the Summer of Creative Joy, we brought that back, Novel November to hit that nano moment. And the monthly writing challenges have continued to grow and grow. And for anyone who's new to this space, the idea of all of this is not for you to access everything. It's simply to find the thing that's right for you. For those of you who are fans of the calendar and the goal-setting calendar, well, it's now been pimped up. It's amazing. It's interactive. You can edit directly on it. And Matt and Judah have been behind this. Matt, do you want to say anything about the calendar?
Oh, no, it's pretty, yeah, kind of does. It's editable, a PDF editable, really small thing, but something many of you have been requesting for years. So finally just put it together. Great. Thanks, Parul. Yeah. And so what else? So we've tried some experiments and some of these have worked, some of these haven't. And again, a lot of this stuff is coming from the feedback you give us, whether you're sending emails to us and saying, hey, what about this? Or you share in Writers Hour in the chat. We're always listening. So one of the things that we did, again, we launched the residency. And this was hearing from many of you who were in the middle of a book and you were looking for more accountability, personal accountability. And so we're going to talk a little bit more about this because we are going to do it again because it was really incredible and help writers that were part of it really accelerate their progress. And so what this included was monthly one-on-one coaching with an editor and coach, a monthly group cohort, weekly workshopping. So you actually got other people in your cohort workshopping a piece of your work. And we had 4 different cohorts. We had 2 fiction cohorts of 5 to 6 people. We had 1 nonfiction cohort and we had 1 creative nonfiction cohort. Again, all these were 5 to 6 people. And so this was a really intimate group and we gave all the support that we could muster through coaching and other daily accountability, weekly accountability, and check-ins. So anyway, something we're really proud of and we're so excited to keep it going. We also created version 1 of a digital writing tracker. I'm curious in the chat, who experimented either with our 100 days of writing tracker or November novel writing tracker? Let us know. So this is Judah, who joined the team in September. This was part of his masterwork. So we worked together on creating this. And I hope it was useful. And it has informed what we are going to share coming up, which is we are rolling out an official Writers Hour writing tracker in 2026. So super excited. So thank you for playing with that. You helped us learn, and hopefully it also helped you track your writing. So we're really proud of that. We did more bespoke in-house workshops, in particular, something called Writers Lab or Writing Lab. I forget, Lindsay, what we're calling it now, but this was, I think we've done 2 of them so far now. And the feedback has just been incredible. So I'm curious in the chat who joined a Writers Lab. And these are sessions where we get to live in a Zoom room. You have 3 kind of choose your own adventure. It's either, do you want to do generative writing over the hour? Do you want feedback on a piece of writing? Or do you want help ideating on something? And so we put people in these different rooms based on what you're doing. And just, maybe Lindsay in a moment, you can share more as we talk about the future, but I know based on the feedback, a lot of you love it. So we are bringing it back. And also we did a more bespoke programming. A lot of the workshops we do bring external people, and it's really nice to have kind of that different blood and different perspective. But one of the things we were trying to do more of was let's build knowing what we know about what you all need and want, like let's build our own stuff. So that's one of the things we did, is we did build a writing practice workshop and some others in there. We also experimented with a new course format. So related to the novel writing, we did 30 days of novel writing where there was a bite-sized lesson every day over 30 days. I'm curious if you did love those and what it was, if you found it helpful. But we're thinking, is that something we do more of? Do we split off courses into 30-day chunks to kind of accompany your writing journey over the month? So it's a question we're sitting with, but we did experiment with that. We also tested local chat rooms. And this is kind of one of those things that didn't really work out. And some of it's because we're constrained a little bit by the tools we use and the technology. But we do have something we're experimenting with going forward. So hopefully that learning helped us improve for what we're going to launch now. And also, yeah, new gear in the shop, created these new, I'm wearing one right now, created a new line of hats. So you can, if you want to wear at Writer's Hour to show what you're working on. So we have a writing hat, a world building hat, an editing hat, an ideating hat, and I'm wearing a creating hat. So if you're a hat person, maybe something for you.
Also, if you have any requests, I think Matt will take them as well.
Yes.
All right. So on the team and operations, as you know, we run 4 writers' hours a day. And so we're always trying to look out for new writers hosts. We onboarded 4 new writers' hour hosts this year. TK, Erica, Caitlin, Tanya. It's so exciting to have you as part of the team. They're helping to keep this going 4 times a day. Imagine we have such a wonderful team of hosts. We have a new member of staff, Judah. Judah's been doing a lot of stuff around the tracker. He's the ops guy. He's been an incredible help. Matt, I wonder if you want to say anything now.
Yeah, just he's based in South Korea. He's American, but living in South Korea. So we're that's probably why you haven't seen him around, is because just time zone wise, we're in different places. So even internal team, I think there's not a lot of overlap with us, but yeah, he's just a great, he's been a great help for me, for someone who I feel like I'm often working on kind of the systems operations behind the scene. And there's a lot of stuff that I wish I had more time for. And so Judah's been able to do that. So yeah, hopefully some of you get to meet him, but he is the wizard behind a lot of the tech stuff that we've been improving. So, and also I just want to give voice to all your hat requests: crying, procrastinating, doing nothing. I think I missed the mark. I need to create hats about commiserating, not celebrating what we're doing. So, hey, Judah's here. Judah. Thank you, Judah. Hey, Judah woke up in the middle of the night.
Yeah, come and say. I think Judah should wave and say hello so that people can see his face. If you
Up to you, Judah. I know it's like 3 a.m. for you.
So glad to be here.
Hey, great to hear your voice, Judah. I don't know if you were here when everyone was giving you love for the tracker. So yeah, thanks, Judah, for everything, and all of you.
I'm a big fan of this re-editing hat as well. Yeah, so Judah and Matt have been working on the backend systems. There's a lot of stuff that goes on in the background that really you don't need to know about, but it is making your life easier. So that's been happening in the background. Now, you'll have seen throughout the years, but particularly the last year, we are partnering with, getting sponsorship from different organizations. And the philosophy behind that is really, again, just trying to think about organizations that we think might help you with what you're doing, and also companies that we think are organizations that are aligned with how we see the world and sort of our ambition to make this a really beautiful creative space. And so Lulu, Scrivener, Troubadour, Pro Writing Aid, but also organizations like Chill Subs, Blacklist, Readsy, Cred Tent, one of our Eric in the community runs Cred Tent, and Spotify. So these all are exciting. And a lot of this is also about us reaching out to more people. The more people we partner with, the easier it is for us to get known. We have a social media presence. Our Instagram has been growing steadily. Our Substack has had some hockey stick growth. It's gone within a year to 21,000 subscribers. That's so awesome. If you haven't checked us out, please do look at those prompts. We have a new membership landing pages. They're pretty fine. Hopefully it's easier for people who don't know about us to understand what our membership is all about. Some really lovely images there. We've been trying to just get out and about a bit more, turn up to places. I went to Jaipur in January. We were at London Book Fair. Matt was at the Barcelona Journaling Festival, and Lindsay and Matt were at AWP. it's been really fun to be out there in the industry, talking to people, connecting with people, and also getting known. And then finally, we've been talking a little bit about what we do more than we have before. So we've been invited on a number of podcasts. So if you search for any of these podcasts and our names, you can hear us talk about the salon externally.
Thanks. I want to give a little voiceover to that third bullet, simplified our backend systems. So I know we've been sending quite a few comms around this, and I just want to say we've fully migrated, and I'm not going to get too much into the weeds because I think it is a little TMI, but long story short, is we had a bunch of systems and we've consolidated it into one, which is Circle, our member platform. So hopefully, again, this is just making your lives easier and hopefully ours too, with the systems and stuff. So if you do, the reason I bring that up is if you do have any questions or any confusion about where to control your membership or your emails, just email us. And maybe I can even share a link in the chat at the moment, but we're here on the other end, hello@londonwritersalon.com. So just don't hesitate to reach out. I'm always happy to help. We're always happy to help. All right. Okay. Let's put our hands on our little crystal ball. And so we can share some of the things we're really excited by that are coming up in 2026. And these are things that we've already started to put in motion. And one of them is local meetup and group chat spaces. So I mentioned kind of our local chats didn't really work. And we're hoping that take two of this works a little bit better. So we've created 2 new spaces. And again, this is for our silver and gold members, where a lot of the community stuff and connection happens. So we've got 2 new spaces. One is local groups and one is local meetups. And the high level story about these, and we'll share a little bit more in text and in the follow-up with this, is this little screenshot here. This is local groups. Basically, there's going to be a post for every location. And if there's not one, we want you to go and create one. But if there is already one there, you comment on the post, and that will enable you to follow it and continue to connect with the people that are in your local area. And if you'd like to host a local meetup in your local area, we've created a new space called Local Meetups. And local meetups, you can actually create events. This is something that we haven't enabled before. It's basically myself or KK or Lindsay or Parul would have to create an event for you. So now we're giving you, again, this is silver gold members, giving you the keys that you can create your own event in our member platform to meet up locally. So hopefully that's helpful. Yes, I do. And also I'm really tempted to look at all your questions, keep them coming, and we're going to focus on time. And Lindsay, I just want to touch on it. Lindsay, what does partnerships mean in practice? Yeah. So one of the things is, things like chill subs, usually it involves a collaborative thing where like our membership gets a discount to their thing and their membership gets a discount to our thing, that kind of stuff. And so the blacklist, I don't want to put the cart before the horse, but we're trying to work on something there too. Basically, the ethos here is as a member, we want you to feel like we're giving little gifts in the form of discounts to other places that you might find valuable. So like we've got a discount to Readsy, we've got discounts to Chill Subs if you want to track your submissions. We've got discounts to CredTent, Eric in the community who runs CredTent. So that's what we mean by partnerships. That hopefully that affects you. And as an organization, what we mean by partnerships is it gives hopefully us a chance to put ourselves and what we do in front of another organization as well, where there's a symbiotic relationship. So the Chill Subs community, for example, hopefully we get some people who use their program and software and newsletters that they come join us here at Writers Hour and vice versa. So that's the goal.
And just one thing to add to that really quickly is just to say that partnerships are evolving. So often we're in a relationship with them and trying to figure out how we can best serve our members and also where we can help them. So it shifts and changes.
Nice. All right. What else, Parul?
Oh,
residency continues.
Yes, the residency. So do you know what is really, really beautiful about the residency? Is it, as Matt was saying, like the origin of it or where it came about, it's also this idea, and something that we have seen over the years, is that often the blocker for most writers is actually just getting that draft done, making significant progress on their work in progress, rather than getting distracted, because there's so much of that around. There's so many craft lessons you can take. This is focused on, as it says, accelerating your manuscript, helping you finish your manuscript within that 10-week period or get as close as you possibly can. And so what we're putting in place is everything that we think you might need in order to do that. And so some of it is sort of the small little cohort, a coach who can guide you, who knows where you're at and what you need next, and just really keep you going, support you. So the next one, the first one, we've just wrapped it. The energy was incredible. We had a final reading with some industry guests. It was just really wonderful to see how the writers had evolved over those 10 weeks. And so we're going to do another one at the end of Jan. We're just getting everything ready for that. And again, if you're here and you're really curious about putting some fuel behind your writing and getting a manuscript done, then this might be something you're interested in.
Yeah, and I do just want to say, so we're going to give members first dibs at this before we announce it publicly and open up applications to the public. So, and also you all will get a nice discount, both an early bird and also as being a member. So we'll make sure to communicate all of that. But this is again, our approach to membership. You as members is you get first dibs, you get early access to everything we do. So keep an eye out for that. All right. So we are continuing with the next evolution of the Writer's Hour writing tracker. So we do have something working and it's going. However, we're not quite ready for prime time yet. In January, it will be ready to launch, but we are looking for some beta testers and don't have the link for it right now. But Judah, as he's continuing to work out some kinks before we launch in January, we're looking for a handful of people who would like to beta test this. So we're going to share follow up how you can help do this if you do want to do it. And also, Judah just mentioned to me that if you were using the 100 Days of Writing and the novel writing tracker, and Judah, you can correct me if I'm wrong, he's going to pull that into this new tracker. So you're not going to lose that information. Is that right, Judah? Sorry to put you on the spot.
He just put his thumbs up.
Okay, cool. Nice. Yeah. So if you've been using the old versions, it's going to be implemented into this new version. And we're really excited. There's going to be features like projects, goals, and daily logs. So you'll be able to define a project, set a goal for it, whether it's a monthly goal. So hopefully this is a nice companion to our goal setting workshop. And then also you can log daily progress and watch it go. So this actually graph, because I didn't have any data to go on, this is more of the admin graph, but your trends will be really exciting. So really excited to do this. Yeah. And thank you everyone for offering to beta test. We're going to share more. And Deb asks paid or non-paid membership for the tracker. So this is likely going to be a paid member perk. So at all tiers, whether you're Writer's Hour, Silver, or Gold. And Anka, thank you very much around UX audit. Thank you. This is why I love this community, because you all are so talented in all your areas. So I really appreciate you. Cool. Anyone else? We're gonna share more. You can also email or chime in the chat. Alrighty. Programming, additions, and shifts. So this is one of the things we're most excited about, and there's quite a few things to touch on. And Lindsay, I might ask you to chime in on some of this. So some of the things we are excited to experiment with, and I say experiment with because Writer's Hour started as an experiment. A lot of the stuff we do starts as an experiment. Our hope is that it works. It's really good. It's valuable, but it might not be. We hope it is, though. So here are some things that you can have to look forward to in January and at least the first 2-3 months in 2026. So we're starting something called prompt-based or prompted Writer's Hour. We might need to clarify the name, but the gist is these are prompt-based Writer's Hours where there will be many of them with guest writers who will bring a few writing prompts around a theme, and it will be over the course of the hour. It will be these 3 prompts, so silent writing and also a little bit of sharing. So we're hoping that's a nice iteration. Lindsay and Lauren Deborah are hosting one in January, as is Grant Faulkner, a wonderful writing coach and teacher. So we're excited to launch those. Hopefully they work. Writing labs do continue. So these are the spaces for generating, ideating, and feedback. So we are going to continue them because the feedback has been so amazing with those. One thing we are experimenting with is live editing in select editor hours. So every month we host an editor hour, and typically this has existed as in a Q&A, an AMA, where you get to ask an editor, whether it's they specialize in children's publishing or memoir or something else, you get to ask your specific questions. We're going to try some live editing where one or two of you will get live edited in the room. So that's, and again, Lindsay, you can chime in on some of this. Um, Agent in residence in the query room. Parul, I wonder if you want to touch on this a little bit because this is something we're super excited by.
Yeah, and this again, the philosophy behind this is how can we make the rooms and the spaces in Circle and in our community more as useful and valuable as possible. And so the query room, which I lead at the moment, we have writers who submit their query letter, who want help with their query letter. So we thought, well, why not bring an agent to be a resident of that room for maybe a month or two? So we've just confirmed that Charlotte Colwell from Colwell and Peddle is going to be our agent in residence in January and maybe February. And what that means is there'll be certain windows which you can submit your query letter or your synopsis and get feedback. And you'll have, it's like having her as a friend in the room to answer your questions. So really excited by that. It'll be asynchronous and within the comments.
Nice. Another thing we're excited about is workshop multi-part series. So there's a few or two lined up. One is writing on Substack, which is a quarterly series. So we have Claire Venus, who writes Sparkle. I think it's Sparkle on Substack. She's going to come in once a quarter to do a specific Substack related workshop. And also in the autumn, we have a 4-part self-editing workshop series. So really excited for those. Maybe there's other series that might crop up. If you have ideas for different series or workshops in general, we are always open and listening. Another thing that's, I guess it's a continuation of the last couple of years of community meetups. What we're seeing in 2026, and I don't think KK's here. If you are KK, welcome to chime in. We're seeing a lot of you as hosts, room hosts, deciding to commit to a year of programming over the month. So a lot of these rooms are starting to host monthly book clubs and have almost picked the books that you're reading throughout the year. Weekend writing sprints. Elle, who hosts these every weekend in the cabin, Elle has committed to hosting a weekend writing sprint every week next year. Amazing, Elle. Thank you. And also themed writing hours in different rooms like the Myth and Paranormal room and others, memoir and writing, life writing rooms. So these are things that you all as community members are hosting and really exciting. Yes. So historical writing room, historical fiction room. Nice work. Oops. What else? Oh, sorry. Give me 1 second. And then shift to programming access. So one of the things that we are experimenting with, and Lindsay, I might get your thoughts on this and anything I missed above, is workshops, agent hours, and editor hours are all, you can join up until today, you could just buy a ticket to join one. And so one of the things that we're shifting away from is ticketed events and more toward member only events. And so maybe Lindsay, you can talk to kind of why we're shifting in that direction and anything else you think I missed or we should know about.
Yeah, happily. So if I haven't met you, my name is Lindsay. I lead membership and programming here at the salon. And as Matt said, we're going to experiment, at least in the first quarter of the year, moving away from ticketed events to member exclusive events. And that's really because we have found that we really want this to be a place for creative devotion, where you are showing up because you've committed to the writing life. So it's more about the practice and less about grabbing sort of one-off bits of inspiration. And what it also lets us do, I think, is be more present with all of you and to listen to what you're asking for. And so just quickly, I just want to talk very briefly about the workshops you're going to see across 2026, because I am so genuinely excited about what we've lined up. You're going to see a wide range this year. We've got screenwriting and novella in Flash. We've got an editor from Condé Nast coming in to talk about pitching magazines. We've got workshops on understanding the essay, memoir, microfiction, Substack, learning how to edit your own work. There's a real breadth here, but it is not random. All of this programming comes from questions you have asked, from being in the room with you after writer's hours, from messages we've gotten, DMs on Circle saying, hey, this is what I'm struggling with, or this is what I wish you had. So I just want to say that that's been particularly joyful for me, because planning this year of programming has felt less like admin and more like co-creating with you, a space of learning and conversation. And that's a part of that move away from ticketed sales and to member-only access is to deepen that space for learning and conversation together. So I am so excited about the programming coming up, and it's a real privilege to hold this space with you.
Yeah, and just want to applaud you, Lindsay, for the great work you're doing. So all of you, all of the workshops that you've seen to date, and a lot of the interviews and other stuff, it's yeah, Lindsay is squirreling behind the scenes to get all of that live, and that is the other part of the shift is 2026. We're just trying to get better at forward scheduling, and actually, when we kick off in January, we want to be able to say, here's what you can expect over the next 12 months. There's going to be a monthly goal setting, monthly lab, monthly craft workshop, and we get to share those. So that's one of the shifts we are making as well. So nice work again, Lindsay. Thanks for that. All right. What else? So a few more things. So you can also look forward to more guides and packs. So we have 8 so far. We're planning to release more of those. Improved member onboarding and wayfinding. So this again is one of the things I think this is a crusade we're still on, and we're going to continue to be on, is we know for some of you, membership can feel overwhelming. And so we're trying to find ways to make it less so. So when you join, or if you've been a member for a long time, almost you can tell us what's your aim this month, and we can help you kind of say, okay, pay attention to this, don't pay attention to that. That's the ethos and what we're trying to do. So what you need when you need it. Continuing writing prompts and the contest on Substack. So this is something we really do want to do. We're so proud of it. I think a question we have that we'll share later is how we keep it sustainable, because it is pretty pacey. 7,000 processing 7,000 submissions over the course of the year is pretty ridiculous. I'm not sure how we did it. We did it because Lindsay and we've got 5 readers who are helping, but we need to find a way to make it sustainable. And also in January, we are going to have a price increase for membership. But like we have in the past, it's not going to be for you. It's just going to be for new members. So if you're an old member or a current member, a veteran, a founding member, and this is something we've practiced from day one, is you're going to keep your rate, whatever you joined at. So this is our way of just saying thank you. So it's not going to increase for you. We're just going to increase it for anyone who joins from January onward. So if you do, we'll give you a chance to, if you do want to lock in the current price, we're happy, and we'll share more on how you can do that. Sally Ann, I've been here so long. You've practically paying you to be here. Oh, that's the vibe. That's how we want it to feel. We want this to feel like a really something you are, yeah, just happy to be a part of and happy to support because it's helping you dedicate yourself to your writing life. That's the goal. So we included all these. This is just a summary of everything we talked about. We're going to include it in the slides. So now some questions and ideas that we are exploring in 2026. And some of these might be fodder for conversation that we might have. So you're welcome to share your thoughts on some of this stuff. And one of them is, I even hesitated to share this in case it's controversial, but I'm going to do it anyway. So we've been silver and gold membership. That's the name of membership. This is in many ways a hangover of our Patreon days. And so a question I have is if we just shifted it to just membership. So instead of silver membership, that's just membership, and maybe gold became like pro membership, premium. I don't know if I love those names, but the goal is how do we just make it really simple and clear? So for someone who wasn't with us in the Patreon days, they might not understand why there's not a bronze tier. Why is it just silver and gold? All right. Now you're all telling me you like the silver gold. Okay. And also what this might mean is, kind of separating Writers Hour as its own, kind of its own thing as well. And as a member, you get access to Writers Hour. So that's a question we're sitting with. But everyone has an opinion and I would love to hear it. And so thank you for that. But it is a question. And this is also part of this is, as the shepherds of this space, we're always in this place of how much do we share? How much don't we share? And we kind of try to err on the side of, let's just share the questions we're sitting with, even if they're the wrong questions, or if you don't like the answer of what we're imagining, it's good for us to hear. So I really do appreciate all of you. And thank you for your opinions. Okay, so create more guidance and support around building a writing practice. This is something we're very conscious of that, and maybe who was with us today that just joined Writers Hour? We had a brand new, I don't know if he's still here. I'm sorry, I'm missing his name. Began with a C, Lindsay. I don't know if you remember.
Was it
Corey.
Cody?
So
Corey.
yeah, Corey. So Corey joined us today, and some of you might have, only joined us in the last week or month. Something we're really conscious of is, other than just kind of throwing you into Writer's Hour, we think there's more we can do to help you build a writing practice that's in addition to scheduling your writing session. So we have some ideas on what that is. And it's one of the things that we do want to build, is to make it easier for you to commit to a writing practice. So that's one of the big questions we're exploring. Another question I mentioned before, how to sustain the writing contests on Substack. It's a lot of work, and not saying that begrudgingly, but it's just like, how do we keep it going because we love it? So Lindsay and I have been brainstorming some ideas, and also would love to know, for those of you who have submitted to this weekly contest on Substack, just how it's gone for you. If you're submitting weekly, if you're submitting monthly, just curious your relationship with it. It might help us define what we do next. This is kind of a bigger question. We've used this metaphor of Peloton for writers pretty much from day one. When Peloton was taking off, it was also the same time in 2020 when Writer's Hour was taking off. So we thought, oh, we're Peloton for writers. But this is, as we think about it in the future, what would that actually look like? And is that something we want to build? So right now we have 4 Writer's Hours every Monday to Friday. We're introducing these guided prompt-based Writer's Hours. But what if around the clock there was a bunch of stuff, silent writing, prompted writing, and maybe more than writing? Maybe it's around creativity and other creative acts. So this is kind of an exciting thing that we like to talk about, and we're curious what that might look like, and if that's exciting to you too, because we do feel like, and save me from the soapbox, but we do feel like we're at this really interesting space, humanity is, where human creativity is becoming more important than ever for us to hold on to. Meaning, with AI technology rising, I think a lot of us are realizing human creativity, how important it is, maybe independent from the publishing industry, independent from a career, but as an intrinsic practice. And so what if time spent in creative acts that we call creative health, what if that was viewed as important as time spent in physical acts, physical health? So anyway, this is, if we are still around in 5 years, I think we'll have designed something that is helpful for human creativity and helping us all hold on to it. So anyway, soapbox done. Spark local writers' hours and chapters around the globe. This is something we've been talking about for a couple of years. Maybe 2026 is when we do it. So what would it look like if in every location there was a local writers' hour that was happening monthly, maybe weekly, that you can join when you're traveling around the world? You can go and join your other writers, that uses a similar format to Writers' Hour, but maybe a little more social. Some of the things we've been experimenting with in London and Cornwall and Madrid and elsewhere. So maybe that's something that we launch and continue.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, Parul, you just chime in, please. I'm just like riffing.
And just going off that, I mean, the idea of the local writers hour, it follows a lot of what we've done since the beginning is sort of going with what we're hearing, where we see things going. So when we first started the London Writers Salon as a whole, it was because we felt that there wasn't a space where people could be honest about the creative life. There wasn't a single place to gather writers, any type of writing. And Writers Hour, again, was a response to this idea that, well, because we thought about going online even before COVID just accelerated that. We knew that things would have to eventually go online so that we could meet everyone where they were, even if that's in their pajamas, in a cabin in Scotland, or wherever it is you call in from. And local writers hour, there's a growing need. I hear this mentioned all the time. How can I meet more locally? And I'm certainly feeling a pull to like meet people more in person. So that's something we would love to be able to make happen this year. So it's something we're definitely actively discussing. And then around this, we talked a little bit about reaching out to different networks, letting people know what we do here at the salon, but also as part of that, explaining a lot of what Matt was saying around creative health and the importance of it at this point in sort of society. We want to be able to become clearer for ourselves what our vision and mission actually is, and share some of the lessons that we're learning around creativity and be part of those bigger conversations around creative health. So there's definitely a lot of stuff, both this clarifying vision and mission and this idea of leading into leadership, but also just being part of those conversations. Recently, we interviewed Ivy Ross and Susan Magnuson, who work at John Hopkins Lab, Mind and mind and body lab, and they were talking about how biologically we change when we're artistic. There's actually scientific proof of how we change, and so there are, they should come and have a look at what we're doing. Maybe we can help them with that. Slightly related to that, we have been having some early conversations with academics. We've been talking to Durham and Oxford, and maybe starting at Johns Hopkins as well, just starting to talk about some of these studies that are happening around creative practice to see how we might contribute to that. And that might also inform what we do too, what we learn from the scientists. And then I guess another question is around, as we grow, we want to make sure that we stay true to who we always have been, the values that we always have had. And how do we grow in a way that feels sustainable for us? And so Matt was talking about Substack and the big growth of Substack, but this applies to almost everything we're doing. It's important to us to consider this. And then finally, I think we all maybe struggle with this in the team, is how do we stay connected to our own creative practices? Because ultimately we are all creatives. That's why we are at the salon.
Amazing. Yes. And Darina, we want to chat. You're a professor at Duke studying arts, music, creativity.
Yes.
Please, let's continue
curious.
the conversation. Yeah. And actually, there's quite a few writers who have joined us from Duke. So professors and otherwise. So really nice. Yeah, let's chat. Thanks, Darina. All right. Other questions, and then we're gonna kind of open it up. So maybe this is where we do open up. So the questions, again, as shepherds of this space, we want to know, what are you longing for in your writing life? Is there anything that would make membership Writers Hour a necessity versus a nice to have for you? And that's some of the things like the tracker. We're trying to make this how do we really meet you where you are in what you want from your writing and creative life? So this could be an open forum you can share in the chat. And also, we are going to share a member survey. It's not quite ready yet, but hopefully tomorrow or next week, we're gonna open that up. So I would love, you can share more in depth there too. Another question we've been sitting with is, there's a lot of writing organizations, communities, programs, courses around the world. And we've been doing a little soul searching on, okay, how are we unique? And we think we have a hunch. And a lot of it does relate to that Writers Hour drumbeat, is we focus on the practice. It's about showing up. It's doing solitary work in community. And I think it's also how we do it, with a spirit of camaraderie and encouragement. So that's kind of some of the high level stuff, but we're just curious how we lean more into that, because in a sea of lots of options, lots of things, we don't think we are like any of them. And so we want to carve out our own unique niche and make sure we lean into that instead of trying to be like other stuff, trying to be like an Arvon or trying to be like a Faber or trying to be like fill in the blank. No, this is like our unique universe. And how do we do more of that and less of what we maybe shouldn't be doing? Any dream interviews, guest workshop topics? We want to hear them. And a lot of those ones that Lindsay mentioned, those came from you all. I think it was Han suggested the novella in Flash, and others. So yeah, lots of you suggested these. What writing or communities or organizations should we connect with? And also, Parul mentioned academia. Darina, love to connect with you. Anyone else on creative health, policymakers, academia, and otherwise? And more generally, just in what ways is your writing life not being served here in a way that we uniquely can do it? That's what we want to know. So these are our questions. We would love thoughts, feedback. We do have some time. And Parul, I don't know if I missed anything. And I know as we probably expected, we're taking up a little more time than we thought. But we'd love to do some questions, some answers, and maybe we can keep this open for a little bit longer if some of you have time. What do you think, Parul? Anything?
Sounds good. Yeah, let's get to the questions. I'd love to start chatting with you all.
Great. Any come to mind, Parul, that you're clocking? You want to start with?
I just want to say there's a shout out here. Sorry, I wanted to say Devinda just said a shout out to the residency after years of saying I'm going to finish my book manuscript. I actually got it done. That's amazing. That's wonderful to hear.
Nice work. All right. Well, we got some. So if you do have a question, if it was high above and we might miss it, pop it in the bottom. And we'll try to blitz through as many as we can. So Sandhya, lots of great questions and ideas. Do you have a list of all the authors members who have published work they created during Writers Hours? I think Parul might.
Yeah, do
or
you know what? I
something
actually
close to
started
it.
this on bookshop.org and I need to continue it. So if you have written something and you have not told us about it, if you've written it during Writer's Hour, please do let us know. I would love to add that to our list. We do have a list, but it's not updated. So I need to
Yeah.
update it.
And I'll tell you where we can pull that too are the Pub Day Poppins on Writers Hour. So we have it, it's scattered around. We have it
Yeah.
and in the published channel. So I bet we can curate all that stuff. That would be a great
Yeah.
page on our site. All the great books that have been published at Writers Hour.
Right.
How can one apply to be a Writers Hour host? Is it a super secret society?
Yes.
um,
Yes, it is.
yeah.
So, yeah, I
Yeah.
mean,
Go ahead, Parl.
I was going to say, Lindsay. Lindsay's been fielding the applications for Writer's Hour host. Lindsay, would you like to step in?
Yeah, I'll pull the link to the application. So applications are, we sometimes intentionally opening these up when we really have a need for new folks in the space. So we've done that once a year for the last 2 years. But applications are sort of rolling. So if you'd like to apply, I will share the link in the chat. And even if we don't have an immediate need, we'll keep the application on file. And thank you for your interest.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. And kind of the approach is, yeah, we do it in waves. So I think we're set right now, but would like to keep it on file. So if you are interested, and the surprising thing, and I don't know if, I'm a lot going on my screen, so I'm not sure who of our hosts are here in the room, our Writers Hour hosts, but it is like I don't want to call it a secret society, but we have a WhatsApp group and we're like, there's a little community that are the host team as well. And I know Erica and some of the other new hosts, Tanya
Yeah.
here in the room, it's kind of a nice chance to have a little deeper connection with this intimate group too. So there's a nice little community there too.
It really is. It's just such a lovely little cozy bunch of writerly friends. We support each other, we host together, we write together. And there's some perks as well that you get. Pippa has a question. Is it worth having people who are members of rooms having an LWS presence at literary festivals that are genre specific? I'm sure many of us would be happy to promote this space. And that's definitely something we want to be able to enable more people to do is as you're going off into festivals and conferences, we'd love to be able to give you some swag to take and promote Writers Hour and the London Writers Salon.
Yeah, and this is actually something we thought about more broadly. Like, I don't want to overcommit to this, but one idea is we have like an easy link where you can just like go and grab cards, and like we would buy and print them on demand and send them to you if you're going to an event. That's like ask. And actually, we have some cards, and maybe I'll just flash one up. Like we've got these. I don't know if you can see that. It's Write With Me Every Day with a little QR code. And then on the back, it's the sessions. We've been the bottleneck for that, and it's fallen down on our to-do list, but we'd love to empower you all to like grab a bunch of those cards if you are going to an event. So it's a great idea. And maybe like tote bags too and stuff like that. So we can, yeah, great idea, Pip.
Right.
Lindsay, we talked about partnerships, so hopefully that helped explain it. And also that's an open invitation. If there's any, so one of you, I forget who it was, but mentioned the London Library. Would be great if we had some sort of collaboration there. So we emailed them. They haven't gotten back to us, but what if we can get a discount to them, as a member at London Writers Salon? So what are the software, the places you hang out in that you would love us to establish a partnership relationship with that might include a discount for you as a member? So open invitation to share and connect us if you do have a connection at an organization as well.
Great. Someone mentioned Query Tracker as well. That's a great shout. We can definitely reach out to some of these software companies. Let's see. Did have some other questions come through. There's a lot of great comments. Thank you so much for your votes on merch and also silver versus gold. Writing Tracker, a lot of love for it there. And I mentioned, I noticed someone mentioned about, feeling like being a kid in a sweet shop. Definitely want to highlight that. I mean, that's great, but also that's the whole part of the guide. The idea behind the guides is that we help shepherd you through all the many things that we have so that you get what it is that you need for your writing.
Yeah, nice. So a lot of these, Danielle, I see I'm trying to read it as we're in progress here. So I love it. I'm probably gonna have to spend some more time with some of these comments. So thank you so much. And yeah, I just want to say with the gold check-ins, they're challenging when you don't feel inspired to write. In my and I think all of us would agree, if you are a gold member, so gold members included in that are Monday, Friday check-ins, coach-led check-ins with a cohort of people where you get on Monday to share what's your aim this week and where you're feeling stuck. On Friday, how'd you do? What are you celebrating? Or what didn't you do? And where are you feeling stuck? I think those are especially important to attend when you don't feel like attending. So that's the only thing I would say, because a lot of times, and maybe gold members, you can chime in. A lot of times you don't want to do it, but something happens by showing up. That is an act of you showing up for your writing. So that's what I would say there. And don't feel embarrassed. Don't feel embarrassed, because half the people probably also didn't feel like showing up, or they feel that way. So that's the only thing I'd say.
Yeah. Barbara has a question around how to win membership upgrades or something, do something in kind for them. So there are a number of ways in which we do have people in the community who they become room hosts or writers hour hosts. And there are perks that you can get. So you can always, if there's an idea you have, if you think there's something you can contribute to the community, that's something we can talk about. We also do still have the scholarship system, Matt. So people can apply for scholarship. Is that right?
Yes, we're revamping it as we migrated systems to enable it, but yes. Yes. So yeah, and so basically, if there's something that in membership that you would like to organize, and that's how all of these 36 rooms have come about. Someone said, hey, there's not a nature writing room. I'd like to create one and hold space and hold monthly meetups and hold space for the forum. Great. We'll do that. So Catherine Cormelis is who hosts and who manages the community and the rooms and the host managers. So, or the room hosts. So Catherine is someone to reach out to. You can also email us hello@londonwritersalon.com and we can explore it for you. But ultimately, we just want this to feel like a space of, it's both give and take. This is a true community, is like you're both giving yourself and also you're receiving by other people giving. So it's a really beautiful space. So if that's a value of yours, then we'd love to chat.
Great. Shanti says, I've written every one of my Guardian essays on with the London Writers Salon. That's incredible.
Amazing. I've seen some stuff about writers hours, like West Coast writers hours, more stuff. That's something we're very conscious of. I think one of the things we're experimenting with, the prompted writers hours. Some of those will be in evening time US. So this is the first time us doing something evening US. So hopefully that will be for you. We do have dreams, and we just didn't put it on this slide because it was too painful to look at because it was on last year's slide, but adding more writers hours. So there's ideas like an India writers hour, which would be nighttime US, a mid-morning writers hour for UK and Europe folks, like a 10, 11 a.m. These are ideas. Weekend writers hours. These are all things we would love to do. When we commit to a writers hour, as you have seen, we don't commit lightly. We continue it for years, half a decade. So if we commit to something, we want to be able to make sure we can follow through with that. But it is our intention to have more of those sessions.
Yeah.
So thanks, Rebecca, for the question.
Great.
What else, Parul? What do you see?
I see, Sue is recommending being a host, recommending being part of the host community, definitely. And then Sandy, you've asked about applying for the residency. Do you need to be a silver or gold member? You don't need to be a silver or gold member. You can certainly get a discount if you're silver or gold. And that is actually going back to what Matt was saying about just the membership as a whole. The idea is that by being a member, you get discounts. We try and prioritize you and give you discounts for everything else that we do that is priced. And I see also, JM, you've asked about writers and Spanish. Yeah, definitely. We've definitely loved the idea. This Carmen, who writes with us, has also asked about writers in Spanish. It's definitely still a twinkle in our eye. Love the idea of it.
Yeah, nice. What else? I did see a hand up. We could do that too. If anyone has a question, we can call on you. Otherwise, share in the chat. If you have any other questions, ideas, thoughts, I think we're going to need to take some time and spend some time with this chat because some of you have offered so many ideas, wonderful ideas. Yeah, nice. Yeah, I'm just reading Leanne. I would love an organized way to get feedback from writers groups that is not money, still paying off my MFA. Yeah. Well, I think that's what this is a tough thing because for someone to dedicate a lot of time to give feedback, you have to get people who are equally dedicated with time. The writing lab is one thing we're doing, but again, that's like an hour. So I don't know how much feedback you can get in an hour. There is the critique room that people upload work to and chime in. But again, it's sometimes tough to get commitment of someone saying, yes, I want to spend a lot of time feeding back on your room. And yeah, this is a tough one. It's something we think about. And if we can crack this, and this is what the residency is all about, actually. But
you definitely get
it's a big investment.
Yes, in the residency, you definitely get an opportunity to get some feedback on parts of your work. Another place I've seen people get a lot of feedback is in gold. I've seen gold members buddying up, and that can also technically happen within the silver membership as well. If you find somebody like a friend, a beta reader who can read your work, and then you also feedback on theirs, I've seen some great outcomes with that.
Nice. Yeah, what else? Barbara, yes. Winners of our Substack first and second prize do get free membership, 3 months for first place and 1 month for second place. So yeah, that is one way. But again, there's only 2 winners every week when we're running the contest. So also, yeah, 24-hour writing sprint. Usually we give away prizes there. Sometimes it's membership in 100 days of writing. I don't know if we're giving membership away, but we're going to give away some cool swag, mugs, hats, water bottles, stuff like that, notebooks. Yeah, what else? Anything big that we missed, Parul or Lindsay? Is there any questions, anything big, or any of you who your question got missed?
No, but I do see a humor writing hour, and Catherine says they'll volunteer. I love that idea. I don't think we've missed anything big in the chat, but if you think we have, do put it in the chat at the bottom.
Yeah, quarterly 24-hour writing sprints. Rebecca, would you like to host those? We love them. They're a lot of work to maintain. We are going to do one in April. But yeah, in the cabin, Elle is hosting one, kind of lightly hosting. It's not going to be quite like the one that we do, but every weekend she hosts a 24-hour writing sprint in the cabin, silent writing. Might not be the vibe you're looking for, not quite as buzzy as these 24 hours, but it's still something.
Yeah.
Beta testing, Christy, email us hello@londonwritersalon.com and we'll forward that to Judah. We're also going to create a post in our membership for beta readers, beta testers. We just haven't gotten there yet in the spirit of launching this. So, and Judah. Thank you, Judah, for chiming in.
Yeah. And I see that question on thought to family membership. These are good questions and points and things we definitely consider as we think about membership.
Yes, love that. Group memberships. Yeah. Well, thank you, everyone. I think, maybe time to wrap.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you for staying for so long. Thank you for chiming in. Thank you for the questions. It's wonderful to be able to share what it is that we have done, thinking about doing, dreaming of doing. Appreciate it.
Yeah. Thank you so much. Again, you helped keep the lights on here. You helped move this from a 2-week experiment when all of us were at home, locked in our houses, to something that honestly look forward to waking up, thinking about, and serving and creating with and for all of you every day. And we want to do more. We want to keep going. So thank you for all of our members. If you're not yet a member, we'd love for you to become a member, help support this space, and lots of cool stuff that you get on the other end too. All right. Well, thanks
so much for every message you send. We do read them all. It really motivates us and helps us. So really love all the love that you're sharing as well.
Yes. Well, thank you, all of you. Feeling lots of gratitude. Wishing you a really beautiful holiday season and New Year's. Writers Hour is continuing. I think, Lindsay, you can let me know if I'm wrong, but it's continuing through the holiday season. So thank you to our hosts who help support that space. So for many of you who would find value in that during the holiday period, we are going to continue. The writing doesn't stop. All right. Thanks, friends. We're going to share the recording and notes and all that great stuff afterwards. But again, lots of love to all of you. Parul, really lovely to share with you. And Lindsay and everyone else, thanks for being here, and all of you. Until next time, friends, let's do it again. Here's to another year or 6. All right. Cheers.